Hello YouTubers. This here is supposed to be the car dropping Kaylee and Maddie off at 1:56 a.m. Here's the timestamp. 1:56:23. I'd like to point a couple things out here. Let's look at the size of the headlight, because I'm going to show you another car in a second. It's really large. And here's the taillight right here. Now I'm going to click onto the returning vehicle. So pay attention to the taillight right here. This car's going west. The next one's coming east. So now the taillight's going to be right here. And the headlight's going to be right here. Here we go. That's a different taillight. It's more like a dash. And this headlight, and I'll show you again, is much dimmer than the other car. So let's look here again. I'm going to click, and that's where the headlight's going to show up. Here we go. Much brighter. So based on that, that doesn't look like the correct vehicle that's headed west. So I went to the 1330 camera where I could listen for sounds approximately 1 minute before this car here. Oh, before I forget, let me go back. Okay, here, I want to show you the timestamp on this one here. 1:58:20. So the other one is 1:56:23, so this is basically 2 minutes. Okay, so let's go back to the westbound. This one here is eastbound. That one there is westbound. So I wanted to listen to the sound 1 minute before this car. We're about to listen to the sounds, but before we do that, I want to show you this. This here is Kaylee and Maddie's ride right here, this line. 23 seconds for the 1:56:23 car that you saw on 1320 cam. So let's start with the Kaylee and Maddie's ride. At 1:55:11, that's when the sound starts on the 1330 camera, and it's loud until 1:55:17, so that's about 6 seconds. Then it goes a little dim for a couple of seconds. Then it gets loud again, then low again, then medium, which is similar to right here. We got about 8 seconds here. This here is 6. Two different cars, two different signatures, but they're pretty close. Here's the low that matches that low, 4 seconds here. Loud matches that loud. This one is 5 seconds, that's 6 seconds. Here's a low for 3 seconds, medium for 3 seconds. And this one has an additional medium for 4 seconds, but they both come out to 23 seconds. Okay, so here's Linda Lane. That's where that 1:56:23 car was seen going west. These two sound signatures from that car and the one before start around here someplace. Here's louder right here. This is Taylor right here. And here's Blake. So they start around here someplace. So those 23 seconds of sound is the car coming down here all the way to Linda Lane. And then past Linda Lane, on a car, you usually don't hear much. On a truck, you might hear a little bit. But on a car, maybe you'll hear it for another second or so. So now let's go to the sound. I'm going to listen to the 1:56:23 car starting up here. And you'll notice as it comes down, the time will get close to 156.23. I'll point that out. Okay, I'm going to try to keep this paper so you can track. Right now it's 155.46 on the video, and the sound is going to start at 155.58, and this is the 156.23 car coming in. So here we go. It'll start right now. Okay, it's at Linda Lane. Now we're going to listen to the one previous to that. This one begins, the sound begins at 155.58. So 47 seconds before that is when this one starts and ends 23 seconds later. So this car, which I believe is Kaylee and Maddie's ride home, came in literally 47 seconds before this one, the one you see on screen. So let's listen to 155 so you can hear the signature. Okay, 155.05, we'll start right there. And we'll start hearing the sound at 155.11. Here goes. There it is. That's the car that drops them off. That 158.20 car seen going eastbound, I was able to go over the 35 pictures that I found from 156.23 all the way up until 5 o'clock. Here's the east-west pictures. If you look in the left column here, I'll scroll and you'll see at the bottom 35 cars. Now in the right column, that black number 1, red number 1. So W stands for west. The black is west. The red is east. So I numbered them so that I could put them in order. There we go. That's the undercover one right there that Lana did a show on. I'm not done my work, so I'm not sure what these two are right here. But this here, 158.20, west, east, west, east, west, east. Those are all the identical car as the 158.20, which cued me in that the 156.23 car was not possible to fit. So I checked 1 minute earlier so that that car could make it to the 1112 camera. And as you see here, 155.34 seconds. It's approximately 32 seconds to the 1112 camera. So that would be 6 seconds after 156. 1:55:34, and 32 seconds is 6 seconds. 1:56 and 6 seconds. So it gets there at 1:56. Here are the trips. The very first one right here is obviously just based on the sound that you just listened to, the sound signature. Taylor West, Kaylee Maddie's Ride Home, Linda Lane. It would have been on Linda Lane camera if we had the footage, right about 1:55:33, which still puts it at 1112 at 1:56, shortly after. Here's its return run, 1:58:20 east. So there's 2 minutes and 44 seconds, the west and going east. Now it's still east of the camera for 9 minutes and 31 seconds. Then it's picked up at the east end of Nez Perce and turns onto South Blake, and it's on camera at 2:07:51, headed back towards the direction of 1122, and it comes back 2 minutes and 19 seconds later. This here supposedly is when Dylan calls the driver, right here. But it's going east. At that point, it's on 1320 camera at this point. It stays east of the camera for 25 minutes, 33 seconds. Comes back west. It's at Linda Lane. It comes from North Blake. It's at Linda Lane at 2:35:43. 1 minute 54 seconds later, it's going back east at Linda Lane at 2:37:37. Stays there for 34 minutes 26 seconds. Comes back west, and it's on Linda Lane cam at 3:12:03. Now here's an interesting part. It's actually caught on the body cam at that point for 2 seconds, 3:12:14 and 15 on body cam. Dark car, silver wheels. And 3:12:15 is 21 seconds before the 4 frat boys are seen walking past the light bulb. Then it goes in further, maybe to 1122 King Road, I don't know. 2 minutes and 23 seconds later, it's coming out heading east again. And it's caught on body cam for 3 seconds, 3:14:15 to 17. So with this pattern, it fits in perfect with the sound about 50 seconds before the 1:56:23 car. This is their actual ride home. Okay, here's the body cam at 3:12 a.m. Watch this car right there. And there it goes. I'll back it up a little bit so you can see some more of it. There's the taillight, side, headlight. That little nub, I don't know what that is. But if you watch the roof line right here as I go forward, I'll close in. It appears to stay all the way to the tail light, just about. There's the tail light, and it looks like right there's the roof line. Here's the car now heading east. That's the headlight right there. So we're looking at the side of the car, and it's going this direction. You'll see it going that way. So here's the side of the headlight. It's pretty clear cut right there. I don't know what kind of car it is, but if you do, please put it in the comments section. Now I'm gonna use these buttons here. They move at one frame at a time, not these. These move at 5 seconds. So I'm just gonna use the forward. Okay, so watch this headlight. It's gonna go forward slowly. I'm moving it forward. You can see here's the taillight, headlight and taillight at the same time. And there's a silver wheel right there. We'll see the taillight here in a second. Silver wheel again, let me back it up. There's a better shot of the silver wheel. And the taillights, and I don't know why the license plate isn't showing the whole thing being reflective, but it's not. The 3914 are westbound and the 1359 are eastbound. The X is the invisible car that we can only rely on through the sound. So I'm going to be clicking, like right now, I'm on number 3, right there. Then I'll go to 9 and 14. So I'm going to stay focused right here. Right there is number 3 car, and the timestamp 2:07:51. Here's the headlight. Here's the tail light. I'm going to click on number 9, and we'll look at that timestamp. Here we go. I'll tell you when I'm going to click. Right about now. It's hard to get them in the exact same position, but you can tell it's the same headlight. I'll go back to number 3. Here's number 3. Okay, now I'm going to go to 14. Here we go. So now we're going to go to the east, 1359. And right now we're on 14. Let's see what the timestamp is, 3:12:03. So here's 1 east. So obviously the headlight's going to switch, but you'll see here's the little dash for tail light, the headlight. It'll just reverse itself right about now. Okay, now we're going to go, oh well, here's the timestamp on that. That's the first east, because the drop off was right before that. Okay, here's the headlight, tail light. They're going to stay in the same position. And here's number 3 car right now. It gets a little bit blurry, but I'll go back to 1. You can still see the shape of the headlight. Here we go. Okay, now we'll go back to 3. And I'll show you the timestamp. 2:10:11, number 5. Headlight, tail light right there. And here's number 5 right now. I'll go back to number 3. Here's number 5. Let's look at the timestamp. 2:37:37. And now we're going to go to number 9 in just a second here. Okay, here's the headlight, tail light, and here's number 9 right now. Now he has his brake lights on. Let's go back to 5, I'll show you. No brake lights. But the headlight remains the same. Watch the headlight. Okay, he's got his brakes on because in 150 feet, this is the only east car that takes a left, goes up Blake. And I've watched several cars and they have to be braking at Linda Lane. And let's look at the timestamp on that one. 3:14:26. And that's the last time that this car shows up on the 1320 Linda Lane camera. I'm going to show you the headlight. That's the headlight right there. I backed it up. It was parked here and I backed it up. I want to show you the headlight beam itself, how they match. Okay, this is number 3 car headed west. Let's look at the timestamp, 2:07:50. So watch the beam. I'm going to go to car number 9. I'll let you know when I'm going to click. I'm going to click right now. It moved forward, but it's the same beam. Now I'm going to go to car number 14. Oh, well, before I hit 14, let me show you. The timestamp, 2:35:43. Okay, so here's the beam. Here's the headlight right here. Here's the beam. We're going to go to number 14 right now. There's 14. I'll show you the timestamp. 3:12:03. Okay, now we're going to go east to number 1. So the beam is obviously going to reverse itself. Okay, there's number 1. Let's look at the timestamp. 1:58:20. Headlight, beam. Now we're going to go to number 3 right now. It's a little fuzzy. I'll go back to 1. Here's 1. And here's 3. Okay, and here's the timestamp, 2:10:10. Headlight, beam. Now we're going to go to number 5 right now. Back to 3. Back to 5. And I'll show you in a minute what other beams look like so you can see the difference. Okay, now we're going to, oh, let's see, number 5, I don't know. Let's see. That's 2:37:37. Now we're going to the last one, number 9. Headlight, beam, number 9 right now. There's 9, we'll go back to 5. Right now, back to 9. And here's number 9, timestamp 3:14:25. Okay, now I'll show you some other beams just to finish this up. Headlight, beam, and I'll just show you some different ones. Okay, there's 1 that doesn't match. 2 that doesn't match, but I'll go back to 9 just so you can see. This one here is the last car. This is the driver's car. That's number 9. So where do we leave off? Right there, okay. Here's another one. I'll go back to 9 just so you can see. Okay, there's 9. Let's continue. That's quite the beam there. We'll do 2 or 3 more. There's a different one. That's a very different one. And that one there is almost washed out. I'll go back to 9 for a second. And 5. And 3. And 1. And then, okay, west number 3. West number 9, right there. And the last one, west number 14, right there. 3:12:03. Have a nice day.